Welcome everyone, Dr. Thor here. Another fantastic and extremely well-made Malcolm Ray broadcasting unit. So this actually works by using the famous Malcolm Ray method, which is basically just a template, and I'll show you those here in a minute. And this was a way of using these kind of cards. Now, they had cards for absolutely everything. Here's an interesting one. Fellowship. How nice. Here's amethyst. Quartz. Stimulate. Evolution. Sleeper. I'm not sure what that means, but I mean, he had cards, yin and yang balance. Okay? So he had cards for just about everything. I think there's thousands of cards. And these were basically, he set up these circles here. And then he would use a pendulum. And the pendulum would go back and forth. And he would put a mark there. And then it would go do it again to see how many. And this would be a representation of the energy field for that. So the representation for yin and yang balance would have been this right here. And you can see it says Malcolm Ray 1975 there. Malcolm Ray has passed. And of course, there are lots of his instruments out there. We really just don't know. A lot of people love Malcolm Ray's stuff. I have not done enough research. These are all the things I need to get into. I've collected a lot of this equipment, but never had the time to do the research. And of course, that's where we need your support. Now, I'm going to just show you basically how this unit works. Those who want to know how it works on a more in-depth level need to, of course, this will be shown to All Access and Patreon members, and for those that want an in-depth demonstration of this unit. But this is an electrical unit. You turn the power on, and I see right there, and I see that. See the red lighty came on? And then it starts blinking here. And these are actually all of the witnesses of the people that you want to treat. And that's what's so nice about this. You could treat 127 people if you wanted to, by having a witness of them in the machine. And we'll show you briefly what a witness card looks like. They're pretty nondescript. Basically, these are plastic slide holders. Remember them days? Probably not. People used to not take pictures. They would take slides. And slides you would put in a machine, and you would project that image onto a screen. You would have kind of a static image movie going. And slides in that aspect gave you a really big picture instead of looking at a particular book that had pictures in it. And they would be, of course, they would be transparent, so to speak, the slides, meaning that you would be able to shine light through them. So it's an interesting way of doing things, and certainly a fun way of having film to show to the family. So people would get out their projectors, put a screen up, and then you would be able to see large film. So this was, I think that fell out of use many, many years ago, even though you see this in a lot of business things still. So what's happening is once you start the machine, it's running through the different witnesses, and we'll keep going till it goes through all of them. But what you're supposed to put in first is you pick what you want to send to these witnesses, and that goes right in here. Group treatment card only. Guess what? You just insert that right there. Did I not show that properly? So you just insert that right there. Now this fellowship is going to all the people here. So it's a great way to send massive information, and guess what? Without tuning, turning dials, all the things that are fraught with misery and failure. Well, this is a way to do it, but of course you have to have a card by the inventor. I don't know if you can make your own, being the average person, probably not, but you certainly could If once you get further involved in the process, you probably could. But, it's always good to get the type of templates. And all this is a template. And templates have been used for years, something you want to insert in there, made by somebody else who knows what they're doing. Now, here, of course, you can run it manually, a reset. You can hold the energy on one particular witness if you want to by pushing that button. And you can, of course, manually send it to whomever you want by putting another card. This is the manual slot or mode. The manual, oh, here we go, the manual mode here. And these are generally potencies, how strong. Now, Malcolm Ray first started off with kind of potency machines in terms of homeopathic, copying, so forth. And his machines are very, a lot of them are very well made. And most of them come from the, which I think is somewhere around today, Magneto Geometric Applications. I think that's the name of the company that actually made this group treatment card. Here's a general group treatment card. Let's see what else they have here. Humor? I don't know. I guess if you want to assist somebody. Here's one. Repel lice and parasites. Malcolm Ray, 1976. We could use that on Congress. Okay, and so that's how it basically, you can see how these are kind of well thought out, nice. Where are we up to now? We're up to number 26 here. You can see it blinking. And it'll go through all of these, and as I said, you can individually do it. And that's basically how a Malcolm Ray card unit worked, by the way. They all work the same. As he said, he had remedy makers. Now, these are very well made. You can see how beautiful this is. Made in England. It goes stamped in actually gold. It's electric, obviously. I turn this over quickly. It's got a green felt on the bottom. There's really nothing on the sides here to speak of. So it's a beautifully well-made unit. You've got all these lights here. You have these things you insert. So, I mean, it's quite nice. Very well made. It's like everything else out there. And, of course, Copen was the same way of making quality units. So they took this very seriously. What is the effectiveness of it? I'm afraid that we just don't know. And we're talking about, what is this, 1975, one of the cards? So you're talking about 45, 50 years ago. It's really sad that this kind of energy, and this is energy physics. This is about using energy and not physical stuff. Now, what science does is they want to use something physical, smash it up, break it up, burn it, see what they can do, while a energy physicist would work from the energy. What's making that substance work? And it's not all about going through and ripping it apart, blowing it up, burning it, etc. A very typical human way of looking at things. It's about looking at what makes that function on an energy level while it's functioning, not killing it and dissecting it is what they do. You know, the Hadron Collider is just a giant blow-up machine. You smash things together and hope that the poo that comes out of that somehow gives you insights. And, of course, it's given us nothing. And, of course, the scientists love to say how wonderful these kind of things are. Yeah, I've noticed that from our environment that's changed, from the free energy, the healing, all the things we have, the cures. The problem is we have a very screwed up human goofball, I don't know, psychotic, evil race of people, and nothing's ever going to come from it. And, of course, scientists are part of the bigger problem because they're so close-minded and kind of stupid. And everybody goes to them and prays at their feet because they have answers. Where? So all of this is part and parcel. This is a beautiful machine. I believe this is, again, this is probably 30 years old. What are we up to? We're up to 43. This is most likely from the Magneto Geometric Company. who is using a lot of Malcolm Ray's stuff today. Malcolm Ray has passed, so has most of his relatives, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but all of that is part of the process. So this is a fascinating, you're not going to see many of these. This is one of these elite, very expensive units. I happen to obtain this inexpensively, but it is a fantastic piece of subtle energy artwork. Remember, if you want to see what's inside and get more information, you have to be an All Access Patreon member, and then you'll be able to get more in-depth use instructions, etc. All of these are coming for those members, but we need your support. So you need to get out there and support. You want to see really what's going on. You want to look at the guts of this. You want to talk in depth about this entire subject matter. Well, you need to support us to do that and get the proper access in general. So make sure you check the links below.